What's up? Glad you're here. I'm DatDrizzle and welcome to Drizzle Speaks. We've got a reading from Brandon Knock Knock, or whatever you want to call him. And he's written a little short read that he wants me to read, or that I chose to read, whatever. And it's called Class of 2012. And yeah, I guess this is BRONY related or something. But let's get into it. Enough of me talking. Chapter 1. The Roommate. Now keep in mind, this is my first try. So keep that in mind. Alright. The oak door slammed shut behind me as I entered the house, bent over, a bugling backpack like a Sherpa accident Everest. My mom greeted me cheerily. "Hello, Wee. Welcome home. You find all the books you need?" "Yeah, they were all there, all right." I struggled to reply, my voice hardly above a whisper. My mom resumed cooking. "Good. Oh, and by the way, the new student is coming over tonight. She'll be here by 4 o'clock. Can you clean up the guest room when you have some time?" I grunted and continued my long trek down the hallway to my room. Upon arrival, I threw my backpack on my bed, removing and sorting out dozens of books I had just purchased. I grimaced when I set aside the 4 large textbooks that I knew I'd end up becoming all too familiar with by the end of my senior year. After making sure every one of them was marked and signed, I glanced at the clock that ticked away in the corner of my room. 3:45. Sighing contentedly, I scooped up my iPod Classic earbuds. I never believed in the term whistle while you work. I couldn't really do anything without some decent music. Popping in the earbuds, I took an execution across the hall into the guest bedroom. Sighing at the neatly folded sheets on the bare mattress, I pulled out the fitted sheets and lifted up the mattress to start working on the bed. As I trucked the sheets underneath the bottom, I realized I had never really thought much of incoming student. As I tucked the sheet underneath the bottom, I realized I had never really thought much of the incoming student. A lot of new students had been popping up lately, as the recent discovery of some world filled with miniature talking horses. If I had been born yesterday, this would seem pretty insane. However, after a rough start and a year or two of negotiations, people and ponies started crossing this border between worlds. Sure, it would seem pretty cool to an outsider or a hermit who's never seen this kind of technology before, but the discovery of such a portal only makes me wonder what other things our government was hiding from us. It wasn't long before the ponies started applying for jobs and buying homes in the U.S. Although this number remained small, the number of people buying houses in their world was surprisingly tiny, a whopping 2 people per 100 miles. Wow, that's pretty far. There were still ambassadors. What word is that? Ambassadors and ponies in the public. Even students from their world were exploring the academic systems we had to offer. Apparently our system was much more lengthy and complex than theirs, which was where the new guests came in. I hadn't heard much about them other than that they're a Pegasus, the type of pony with wings. Hell, I had no idea if it was a guy or a girl. I sort of hoped for a guy. We could have bro talks and share our girl problems. Bed now finished, I moved on to wiping down the desk at the end of the table, giving it a bit of Febreze freshness before stepping back. Cheap cleaning. The floor was pretty clear and clean, as we rarely use the guest bedroom for anything. I stood straight up, arching my back. While admiring my handiwork, I popped my earbuds out, tossing them over my shoulder, so they weren't just dangling from my pocket. I sighed quietly, sniffing and taking in the freshness that was now circulating the room. Unfortunately, I didn't have much time to relax when our obnoxiously loud door chime went off, jolting me out of my relaxed state. Images of what our new guests could look like began to cycle through my head as I hurried to answer the door. Stuffing my earbuds into my pocket, I glanced nervously, seeing if there was anything else that needed to be adjusted. Seeing nothing that would qualify, I turned and faced the door, took a breath, and unlocked the deadbolt. Pulling the door open, an explosion of colors met my eyes, dazzling me with an aurora of the color spectrum. I blinked, rubbing my eyes subconsciously before looking at the pony in the eyes. The magenta irises stared back at me curiously, the large-eyed and cartoony. Its mane, the source of the color, fell across the side of its face, just out of the way of its eyes. It was ruffled, but I assumed that it had gotten that from the flight here. All it carried was a small pair of saddlebags over its cyan flank, or is it cyan, whatever, which supported an illustration of a small cloud with a polychromatic thunderbolt. I sat there, jaw partially open for a couple seconds before blurting out, "Hello, are you the exchange student?" I asked, giving the pony my best smile, which was so cheesy. You could have sold it in one costume. Yeah, all right. "Yeah, that's me," the pony said, judging by the higher pitch of its voice. I realized that if it was a girl, it lifted a hoof towards me. "I'm Rainbow Dash." I held back a chuckle. These ponies had fitting names. I took her hoof and shook it. "Nice to meet you. I'm Wayday." A puzzled look across her face as I took her hoof before she pulled me out of my grasp. "Way, huh? Like the word?" I blanked out for a moment. "Uh-huh." "You know, like, way to go." I suddenly got what she was going on about. "Oh, yeah, that's right. Except it's way. W-E-I. She smiled sheepishly. "Sorry. You must get that a lot, huh?" I thought about it for a moment. Not really. It doesn't bother me, though. It makes it hard for people to come up with insults. Can't really play around with such a name, I said as I shrugged. We sat there at the doorstep for a few moments before I ushered her inside. I gave her a quick tour around the house, pointing out the bathrooms and the showers, as well as the entertainment hubs, which was the only living room, and finally left her sitting in her room while I left to prepare the table. As I set down the napkins and utensils, I had a sudden realization, glancing nervously at the strainer that sat at the sink filled with the brim with spaghetti noodles. My stomach clenched in horror. This was going to be a very awkward first dinner. Next scene. As luck would have it, Rainbow Dash actually avoided the spaghetti, instead of going straight for the fruit and the spring salad set off to the side. My jaw dropped slightly when she simply stuck her snout into the greens, ignoring the ballistic vinaigrette and creamy ranch dressing. I admired her courage while I slurped noisily at my own spaghetti. We ate in silence for a few minutes, until my mom gave a polite cough. "So, Miss Dash." We'll give her a "So, Miss Dash" kind of voice. The Pegasus looked up from her salad. "Just call me Rainbow. She said, smiling. "So, Rainbow," my mom continued, sounding a bit relieved. Do you have high schools back in Equestria? The Pegasus brushed a small bit of lettuce off from her face.
Not really. I mean, we do have a, primary school of sorts, and there are some universities in our capital of Canterlot. Twilight would know more about this kind of stuff,
she said, shrugging before helping herself to another mouthful of grains.
Twilight?
My mom asked.
A friend back in Equestria,
she managed to mumble through a mouthful of greens. Yeah, we all like our greens. Sorry for all the spit. I set my fork down, quickly wiping away excess spaghetti sauce. So, you never been to high school? Rainbow Dash frowned.
Well, the thing past primary school I mentioned earlier, I had to start working at the weather factory to buy a house.
My mom's jaw dropped.
You started working? Fresh out of elementary school? That's amazing.
Rainbow's eyes widened, visibly as my mom's reaction sank in.
It's nothing really. Really, I lived alone, so I sort of had to start working, and it wasn't hard anyways.
She shrugged her wings. What? She shrugged her wings.
These helped out a lot.
Oh, okay. What the freak? I shrugged at the thought of working. I had a nightmare of working at a fast food restaurant once. No, sitting for 8 hours straight was something I've always shed that word away from. Well, what high school are you going to? I asked, wanting to change the subject. Rainbow Dash looked at me curiously, raising an eyebrow.
I thought I was going to the same one as you. I mean, that's what the paper said.
It was my turn to raise an eyebrow. You're going to Sacramento County Day? She nodded enthusiastically.
Yeah, that's it.
All I could manage was a befuddled,
Huh?
And that's it. That's chapter 1. There it is, chapter 1. This was written a while ago, so no worries. I'll finish another fic I'm working on, and this will be written alongside a couple others upon the completion. Let me know what you think. So this one, he's on hiatus with this, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I am so far. It's a bit realistic for me, like too realistic. I don't understand why you what the heck? I don't understand why you need to keep the have ponies in the human world. I don't know much about this pony stuff. But I don't understand that. But otherwise, it's a great story. Be sure to check out Brandon, his channel, what he's got to do. I mean, he makes amazing mixes. So, and what is with that noise? An amazing, stories apparently. So be sure to check this out. This was completely new to me. I could never imagine this. But anyway, that's enough of me talking. That's it. Be sure to check out the other videos on my channel and other readings that I've done. And DatDrizzle will see you later. Bye-bye.